Hi, it's Shannon Heaton, and for this season of the Tune of the Month, I shall continue to present and teach a tune. I'll bring in Matt Heaton for some harmonic perspective on the tune, and I'll give a little Irish Music Stories podcast style information about each tune. Glad you're here, and welcome to the Tune of the Month. This month's selection with you, Matt Heaton, is Bold Doherty, which is a tune in jig time.
It is a minor tune. We will play it in E minor, Shannon Heaton.
And we'll play it once around and then break it down for easy learning. One. So I think usually when we play it, at least the last time around, we do a different second ending, don't we? Like a one. Do we do that only the last time around? I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either. It's nice to know, though.
Well, this is a very appealing little melody, isn't it, Matt?
Absolutely.
It's quite simple, and I think we can get a lot out of poring over something that is simple, but also satisfying. But first, let's consider how this tune is also a song, how it also has words, and how many tunes actually have words. I'm Shannon Heaton, and this is Irish Music Stories, the show about traditional music and the bigger stories behind it. Like how dance tunes are for dancing, the rhythmic patterns and melodic shapes of jigs and reels are based on, well, jigs and reels, even if the connection to the dances isn't always on display. But many dance melodies are also for singing, even if many of the words have been forgotten.
If you couldn't be bothered to learn words back in the day and the tune was always played, it fell into the tradition as a tune only. And it may not be known that there are lyrics to it.
Niamh Parsons was born to a musical family in Dublin, and she developed a passion for collecting songs early on. If she hears a song that grabs her, it sticks. And for her, sometimes it starts with just the melody.
Every song is different. I mean, like, sometimes it's lyrics, sometimes it's the air, sometimes it's a combination.
In the case of the song Bold Doherty, which Niamh recorded on her 2000 album In My Prime, it was the air. And it was the way that melody hit her when she sang it with accordion player Josephine Marsh.
So Josephine suggested the song. She knew the tune. It's known that it was both a song and a tune.
My name is Bold Doherty from the North Country, where there's a still upon every stream. Landlady, be quicker and bring us more liquor and fill us a pitcher that's stronger than cream.
And what do you find appealing about the song? What do you...
I love the tune of it. I like the words as well, you know, but my dad used to love it. You know, it mentions Nora McGlynn.
It's so typical of these old songs. Even the bit characters can get memorable names. Nora McGlynn. Maybe she's some floozy in town. Maybe she runs the pub. Whatever. It's an unnecessary detail. And I love that Niamh's dad loved that detail. Nora McGlynn and the very bold Doherty.
He's a bit of a rogue, I think, and he slips out. He tells his mother that he's going out to rivet his shoes around, and he goes off drinking.
And then she bars him from the door.
Yes, and he says, it's okay, I can get lodgings with Nora McGlynn. You're grand. You're grandma. This was the end of the 90s that I recorded it, and I got the words from Fran MacPhail.
Fran MacPhail is a singer from Drogheda in County Louth. He's probably best known for the Voice Squad, a vocal trio that he created in 1985 with fellow Drogheda singer Jerry Cullen and Phil Callery from Wicklow. Fran told Niamh that he got Bold Doherty from Marianne Carolyn, not from a book, not from an online lyric search, because he really couldn't do that back then, But also, that doesn't really give you the full feeling of a song the way you do when you learn it from someone. Who learned it from someone? Who learned it from someone?
So Marianne Carolan, her maiden name was Usher. That's where we got Broken Hearted, I Wonder. She was amazing, an amazing singer and concertina player. Marianne Carolan is the source.
American folklorist and guitarist Rolly Brown first recorded Marianne singing Bold Doherty at her home in Louth in 1978. 4 years later, the song ended up on her own solo recording, which is called Songs from the Irish Tradition, and she also sang it on The Voice of the People, Volume 13. That album was called They Ordered Pints of Beer and Bottles of Sherry. Marianne Carolan had a rich repertoire. Music she would have learned from her dad, Pat Usher, and from other singers around County Louth. So like Bold Doherty, she would have probably learned that at house dances at her family farm before 1920. Herbert Hughes had published a much longer version of Bold Doherty back in 1903. His source was a guy called Daniel Dempsey, who used the first part of the Conantman's Rambles jig for the melody. Marianne's version has just 4 verses. She sang it slower, with this more mournful air, and she's the first documented person to sing or play that particular minor key melody. It's assumed that the air was floating around Louth, and Marianne probably learned it from her dad. But there's no earlier print notation or named singers that mention her melody. As for the words, it's not a sweeping story, but nor is it a kid song with nonsense words.
There is a story to this song. It's not rubbish. It is a little story about a fella who goes off on the tear. Who's just, he doesn't want to tell his mother that he's going out drinking because she'll give out to him. Beware and bring none of your fanciables home. And I suppose that would be ladies or girlfriends or, or even just friends.
Yeah.
Just come on back to the house, we'll drink more,
Yeah, but even the songs that are kind of silly, that are kind of light, oftentimes there's a little message in there or there's a little metaphor in there that can speak to something that maybe is, more beautiful or maybe more difficult. I think that it can be a really great way to put things out there and talk about them,
Yeah.
So it's about a grown man living with his mom, going out drinking every night. Maybe that's all there is. Or maybe there's a little enabling and resentment bundled into this song. These lasting old songs usually have really identifiable, universal situations.
And, the air of this tune, it's just a beautiful air. So it's a beautiful tune in its own right, as are many songs in their own right.
The melody of Bold Doherty really is beautiful. And it's just so simple. It's just a bit of an ascending scale on repeat. There are just a few players that I associate with this.
Yes.
It would be Angelina Carberry on the banjo. It would be Josephine Marsh on the box, and it would be yourself singing it.
Yeah.
Would you be keen to sing a verse right here, right now?
Well, okay. So when I got home and the door it was bolted, I rapped up my mother for to let me in. Be gone for this place were the words that she mentioned, for inside this door you will not venture in. And you may go back to wherever you came from, for to keep you out I'm sure it's no sin. Says I, me gay woman, you may hold your temper, for I can get lodgings with Nora McGlynn with me. Fall the dull day, fall the dull daddly, fall the dull daddly, fall the dull day, fall the dull day, fall the dull daddly, fall the dull daddly, fall the dull day.
Woohoo! Okay, let's get in there into this roguish melody and figure out how it's constructed. I think whether you're approaching a very simple melody like this one or something way more complicated, it can be very helpful to just listen to it and understand how it's constructed.
Big picture.
Big picture. I'll play a phrase, you annotate.
Here we go. Great. So that is just the beginning of a minor scale, right? It just kind of climbs right up, stepwise motion. There is a C natural in this scale. It's not a Dorian tune. It's a Aeolian tune. So that's something to keep in mind. A long note that then kind of gets us back down. What
a
happens
long
next?
C natural, not just a long note, but the long note.
Yeah. Wait, was that the third phrase? That was exactly the same as the first phrase. Holy smokes. So really it's kind of like one thing repeated in the A part.
Hence, let's not repeat it the same way the second time around.
Ooh, you varied one note, but it made all the difference. So many options within that simple little tune, aren't there? Okay.
All right, let's learn the A part, phrase by phrase. Folks, if it feels like too much to hear a phrase and then play it back, listen to a phrase, sing it back. You can just lilt it, you can make up words, you can learn the words to the song. And once you know it in your head, once you know how it goes, once you can sing it, you'll be much easily able to transfer that onto any instrument. One. Great. Second time around, let's try something a little different with that first phrase. Good. So in that case, maybe it would have been more helpful and more efficient for you to sing it once, so that you really heard it. I think if you sang do do da 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 dum, you'd probably nail it on your guitar. So that's an idea for a variation for the first phrase. Here's another option for that third phrase now, second time around. So. Excellent. Da 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 dee da da dum. Nailed it. Annotated B part.
Annotated B part.
One.
All right, so that starts high, starts on a higher note, and it kind of goes. The shape of it generally goes from the high down and then leading you back up. So I'll bet the next phrase is going to be up on that note. Okay, so it sort of does the same thing, but it's unfinished. It ends on a kind of a question that needs to be answered. Sounds kind of like the first phrase. Holy smokes, that was from the first part.
The same fourth phrase as the first part. All right. Notice dum dee da da dee 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 G A C dum da 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 dee 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 A dum da 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 dee 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 G A B. Not the same. Da 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 da. That's the construction of it. Now let's try it phrase by phrase. Phrase by phrase. Here we go. very, very simple melodic variations. But, that's all melodic variations are. They're just really simple, different ways of expressing the same melodic idea.
Right. It's not a solo, it's a variation. I will also like to mention, Shannon, that you're pointing out the notes at the end of each phrase was really helpful for me just then.
Well, you nailed it.
Because I kind of had them in my head. No, I knew what I was aiming for.
Nice. Once again, nailed it. All right, some chords.
Some chords.
Some harmonies. How is this going to go? There are a lot of options to back this very open, simple melody.
Heavens yes. I am playing a guitar in standard tuning, which means that E minor is one of its favorite keys, so that's kind of nice. This tune, because it not just has a C natural in it, but really features that C natural as a big long note, means that there will be some C chords in this, or C major 7 chords, which is not always the case with E minor tunes. So the thing I'm going to rely on heavily is this E minor, which is, if I go, the frets would be 0, 7 muted, 9, 8 open. It's a beautiful, beautiful E minor chord. And then with your middle finger, you can actually reach the 8th fret on the low string, and it turns it into a C chord.
So the color of your chord voicings here is very nice. It feels like it's not going to crowd the tune. It feels like it's going to add a lot of sparkle. But why are you all the way up there? Couldn't you get E minor simply down there?
I could, and sometimes I certainly will. But this E minor is pretty thick. It's a pretty thick chord, and I might use that if we played this tune 3, 4, 5 times. I might end up using that. But I prefer to start with something a little more out of the way.
I love it.
Yep. Oh, and then from the C, I'll go to this D a lot. You'll notice that too, which is basically just sliding that shape up. All right.
So you want to do some block chords over the A part?
Sure.
1, 2.
E minor, C, D, E minor, C, D, E minor. Same thing. And a couple times I followed the melody by going C, B, and then went up to the D.
Ba-da, ba-da. I'm hearing the voice leading of that. It's like you're playing a melody along with my melody.
Mine's much lower.
All right, B part harmonies, pretty much the same idea.
Very, very similar. Very similar. It's a little more back and forth from the E to the D.
1, 2.
And then here is your C. If we do that variation, it goes to a G.
I believe it's time to put it all together.
We'll wrap it up and play it through. We'll play it through a few times. We'll start out relatively simply using ideas that we talked about previously in the video, and then maybe take a few more chances, try some other things. We'll see what happens. We'll see how bold this Doherty really is.
Sounds like a plan. James Bond moment. Well, thanks for joining us for the Tune of the Month. Hope to see you again.
Bye.